Hey everybody. I figured I'd just jump on here real quickly and give an update and all that good stuff. Got some good news to share. And a couple plans that I have for this channel. But first things first, I am feeling better for two reasons. And one of them is a big reason. But the biggest reason is that I think many people know that I have been dealing with the major depressive disorder. You've seen the last few posts I've put on here, that you've basically heard me struggling. But I am feeling quite a bit better because one of the major stressors on me is now done. I had applied for disability due to, having part of my foot amputated and my diabetes being quite out of control. And then on top of that was the major depressive disorder. And the two feed off each other. So it hasn't been a fun time for me. I think everybody pretty much knows that. But the nice thing is that I finally did hear from the Social Security Administration, and they have approved me for the disability. So, what this means, I'm happy in two ways with this. One, yes, I will have what I consider, or what I would call, a base income. Just a real base income, and that's good because that does give me the money I need to pay the bills. But the other thing now is that if I want to, and I want to, I can work part-time along with the disability. But, with what I have going on, with the major depressive disorder and the autism and the ADHD, it's difficult for me to go out and about and be around people. Corporate environments, I worked for the longest time in corporate environments, and towards the tail end, before I stopped doing things in the corporate world and was taking care of my parents, I would come home every single day exhausted with a headache, and I closed myself up in my room for hours on end to just kind of decompress. And that was every day that I had to work. So, and it would just make me crazy. Sometimes I'd be in tears. I would, have really bad headache, and it was starting to affect other conditions. So, uh, I don't think I could go back to a corporate environment because I don't think I would last long. Um, so that's why it's good that the disability was approved. Looking into the SSI aspect of it now, and I'm not sure what that's about. The supplemental security income, something like that. I'm not sure I completely understand how they have that going, but I also don't think I qualify for that. So I need to call them. I will be calling Social Security Administration again tomorrow and just asking more questions. What's my next step? What do I need to do? You know, just make sure that I don't screw everything up. But now that that weight is lifted up off my shoulders more, I feel like I can breathe now. It's, to be honest, yeah, it's like I feel like I can finally breathe, that I can finally get up, you know? And for months, I have been either just down for the count or functional but masking, masking functionalities, sort of, so to speak. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but um, one thing I didn't know with autism, I didn't realize I was even doing for all these years of being on the autism spectrum and not really knowing it, I didn't realize that quite a few of my behaviors are associated with the autism. And I come to find out that I was very heavily masking. And what that means is you basically try to become what everybody, like everybody else in order to mask who you really are inside. Your behaviors are different than everyone else's, and my behaviors have always been different than most ordinary people, you know. And because I was always very different, I was always the butt of jokes, bullied, um, torn down a lot by my peers and also by teachers as well and other adults. So I've gone through my entire life masking and not really realizing that is what I was doing. And so now, after being diagnosed ASD1, I'm kind of getting used to that and learning more about ASD, the autism spectrum, and also my own personal behaviors. So it's been quite the experience, learning more about ASD1. Now I've known I'm ADHD, and I've been that for a long, long time, and knowing that I was long, long meaning for like the last 15 years. I was diagnosed. Actually, it's more than 15 years now, but I was diagnosed at 45 years old with severe ADHD, which also explained an awful lot at the time. So, but what gets me though is it just took them so long to finally get around to diagnosing me with these two things. I mean, I know it was years and years ago. They tested me. I was 10 years old, and they didn't know what to call all of this stuff at the time. Yada yada yada. I know, but still, looking back on it, so much frustration in my life could have been. I could have learned better coping mechanisms back then and had a significantly more joyful life when I was younger. But yeah, but learning all of this and now, from what I understand from the Social Security Administration, after them doing all the work and all of that, uh, the main problem that has me as disabled is my diabetes. And then secondary to that was the major depressive disorder, because those two feed off each other. I think I mentioned earlier on here that one feeds the other. So if my diabetes is out of control, the depression is going to be more severe. And that's exactly what's been happening. So I have a plan now, with the help of a nutritionist and my support team, basically, my primary care, my counselor, and um, I'm going to have an endocrinologist soon that will be able to help me with the diabetes part of it a little more. So with my medical team and my own determination to get better, there should be some improvement coming up. So that's where I will need continual prayer, good thoughts and prayers from everyone. Because, I know that, getting disability and everything, you're getting help from the government, but I don't really have much of a choice right now, since I can't really. I was working in a corporate environment for a while, and I only lasted 90 days before I just couldn't take it anymore. And I also wasn't able to keep up with the work that they wanted me to do. So it was, I wasn't going to be able to stay there. And that's been pretty much the way it's been for the last couple of jobs that I'd had, or that I'd tried to have here recently. So when it came down to brass tacks and they looked at all the information, they had me see one of their doctors, and for both the psychological and the medical evaluation, and they said without a doubt they they looked at everything and definitely said I do qualify. So, and I give God the glory for that, because I've I've actually known people with obvious disabilities that took them 2 to 4 years to finally get their disability. One of them had lost both his legs below the knees in the Iraq War, and it still took him 2 years before they gave him disability. It's like, what? But then again, that was also maybe about 7 years ago or so. No, it was more than that. But I'm just relieved now. A little nervous because now, the federal government's taking, giving me the lion's share of my income. So yeah, that does make me a little nervous. But at the same time, it's better than having no income coming in at all. And at least if I work from home doing something like data entry, I can probably do that a lot easier than I could if I was in a corporate environment, like a call center or something like that. I don't want to do call center work ever again. That's the work I was doing, that I was coming home every single day with a headache. So it's like, no, I don't think I can do that anymore. So what I would like to do is work from home. And I don't just mean on jewelry and resin stuff and all of that. I mean literally work from home. I can still do data entry even though I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands, you know. But I'm going to try and find something that gives some part-time hours, and then start stalking aside, because my brother-in-law and my sister are giving me the opportunity to buy the house that I'm currently in, which is another fantastic piece of news. So, and as that comes more to fruition, I'll talk about that more. But we were just discussing it today. So anyway, I thought I would pop on, give you guys an update. I am going to do more on the channel here soon. You'll see me doing some more resin stuff. There's some projects I wanted to kind of do and share with you guys, and do them on camera for you, that I've not tried the technique before, in doing what they call a bloom. And there's several different kinds of blooms, but there's one called the lace bloom that I just saw recently that seems fairly easy to do. So I figure I'd like to try that one and film it for you so you can see how it comes out and whether or not I'm any good at making them. So that'll be coming up here in the future. I just have to make sure I get all my materials cleaned up and ready to go. And I'm pretty sure I have all the right the right kind of resin and all of that stuff to do it with still. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll get a couple of those up, before the end of the month. My birthday comes up this month as well, so who knows what all's planned. I know I don't have anything planned right now except for to bake myself a birthday cake. But anyway, I'll stop talking now. But I wanted to share the good news. And, just kind of give you a heads up on things I'm thinking about here for this channel. And I don't know, as things roll on, I'll just keep you updated. And maybe eventually I'll show my mug on camera. I'm not comfortable showing my face on camera right now. I don't know. I'll get over it eventually. The picture you're seeing right now, that is me. That is me. So that's my face. That's my hair. That may or may not be my body, though. Just so you know. Anyway. I will talk to y'all later. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for your time in watching this. If you made it all the way through, kudos to you. You have more patience than most. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.